You might not think that a few simple words could make you crave McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. But if you listen closely to the sound of me saying McGriddles, McMuffin, you might be wrong. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Christopher Media, the Weedsman Podcast.
Cures rickets, polio, conjunctivitis,
AIDS. Let's just go hog wild.
If you get in a car accident, you just use a little bit, you'll be fine.
Yeah, rub it on your car and yourself. It'll fix your car and your bones.
Try this special trick to get out of traffic tickets with Rick Simpson oil.
Rub it on the cop. He'll just go away.
The Weedsman Podcast. Every Friday on iTunes and ChristopherMedia.net. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan, it's Unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
Thank you for listening, liking, and sharing Unregimented on Facebook, following us on Twitter at UnregimentedPod. Thanks for all of the new followers on Twitter with Unregimented. Appreciate it. You can subscribe to Unregimented on iTunes for free by clicking through the iTunes banner on ChristopherMedia.net. Android users, you can find the show on Stitcher Radio. If you like what we do and you would like to show your support for us, you can donate to Christopher Media by using the PayPal button on ChristopherMedia.net. Please click through the Amazon banner and bookmark the page. It won't cost you anything extra, and when you buy something, it will help to show your support for Christopher Media. Every Monday through Friday, you can check out a new episode of our Christopher Media show. Monday and Thursday, you get Unregimented. Tuesdays, you're going to get the Weedsman Podcast Nugget, which is the precursor for the big show on Fridays. Wednesdays, you have the Projection Booth. Check those guys out, projection-booth.com. A lot of buzz starting to circle those guys. Check them out. Even we were interviewing a podcaster from Canada a few weeks back, and he shouted them out. So they got reach. People like them. Check them out every Wednesday. Projection Booth. ChristopherMedia.net. If you're looking to launch your own website, please click through the HostGator banner at ChristopherMedia.net. That's who we use to host all of the Christopher Media shows, and when you sign up for HostGator by clicking through our link, you're helping to support ChristopherMedia.net. DraftKings.com, daily fantasy sports leagues, no season-long commitments. You can enter free or paid contests and win your share of over $200 million in prizes. Football's done, but we got basketball. There's even fantasy MMA now. Still curious on how that works. And baseball season coming up. I know about a month here, baseball drafts are going to be starting, but if it's sports, they got it on DraftKings.com. There's fantasy something. When you click through the DraftKings banner at ChristopherMedia.net, you will get a free first-time deposit bonus when you sign up for DraftKings.com. I
was listening to Adam Carolla's show, and they brought, I don't know how they started talking about it, but talking about how, because there was some organization that somebody was involved with that was like the Association to Help Retarded Children. Mm-hmm. And he's like, wow, they still use the word retarded. Well, the organization's been around forever.
Right.
And it's kind of like the...
it's like the Washington Redskins changing their name. It's like not... I mean,
that's what he said. Yeah, right. He was like, if I was the owner of the Washington Redskins, I'd be like, fine, I'll change the name, but then the NAACP has to change their name, and this retarded children's fund has to change their name. It's all or nothing.
Right.
It's like you can't just.
There's grandfather clauses.
Yeah.
That's what it is. If those owners feel that's okay, it's racist, we're going to change the name. That's up to the owners. That's the right of the owner. But I mean, the fucking Washington Redskins. I don't watch football. I know who the Washington Redskins are. Does it offend me that they're called the Redskins? Not fucking really, because of the fact that it's basically a bunch of black dudes, a minority playing under the name of a minority.
Right. Well,
whatever.
The podcast, what is it called?
Damn.
I was listening to, what was the podcast?
Turn me down just a little.
Well, anyway, they were going through the history of football because, the Super Bowl weekend and everything. And they were talking about, part of the birth of football was this group of Native American kids.
Yeah.
That this guy, I can't remember his name, but basically, real famous guy because he was popular for going and basically not kidnapping Native American kids, but going to their families and saying, hey, your way of life is fading and we're taking over. So what I want is for your kids to assimilate into our culture. And so he took them in and got them haircuts and dressed them up like white kids and schooled them and everything. It wasn't a cruel thing that he was doing. No. You could argue whether it was right or wrong, but
it's the Schindler effect, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it right or wrong?
But so at around the same time, football started to become popular, and it was in the early days when it hardly resembled what we know now as football. And these Native American kids really took to the game, and they were really kick-ass at it. Yeah. And then it was when that guy passed away, it was a guy named Pop Warner who took over for them. And I don't know if that's all over the place or that's just a California thing, but because back to Adam Carolla, he mentions it all the time. When I used to play Pop Warner football, I'm like, what the fuck is Pop Warner football? It's junior league football. It's kids. Yeah, I don't know. It was named after the guy. And this guy, he would make up a lot of like trick plays that he would find some trick of like, oh, he came up with the fake out, whatever they call it, and it looked like they passed it to somebody, and the guy takes off running with his arms cradled. Yeah. And he also he sewed pockets into their jersey so they could stuff the ball in there, and they would all run, and nobody would know which guy had the ball.
Nice and cheap.
Yeah. And so every year he would come up with some new crazy technique, and they would have to make a rule for the following season to prevent that. And that's how a lot of the rules of football evolved. And he wasn't the one to initiate the passing. Like I don't know what you call it. When the quarterback throws it to somebody else. It used to just be like rugby, where everyone was just like in a pile trying to get through.
Right. Hand egg. I don't follow hand egg at all.
Yeah, so people would I guess every once in a while toss it to somebody else. But the idea of like having a good throw, a good spiral on it or whatever, he kind of perfected that technique.
The quarterback.
Yeah. But the way it happened, it was funny because one of the kids went out of bounds. And so he was off the field, but he went around the crowd and everything, came out the other side, and then somebody threw the ball to him, and he caught it in their end zone. And they're like, "You can't do that." And he's like, "It's not in the rules." Yeah.
It was right after that. Nice. Thinking outside the box. Football. Why are we fucking talking about football? He's not here.
I don't know. I don't watch it.
No, but that's a good history. That's history. We'll take it as history.
Right.
It might be football history. But
it did give me a new appreciation for it because I would watch it and I'm like, what are all these stupid rules? And I don't know. It was interesting hearing how all the shit developed. And I don't know. It is a very American sport when you think about it.
Damn it. Them lights fucked me up.
The lights?
Those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No. We can do...
I don't mean to be bitchy. Oh, that's fucking beautiful, man. Thank you. I pissed the guys off. Well, me and another guy, I share a very large office space with two guys.
Yeah.
It used to be 5 of us in this room. I mean, it's a big fucking room, man. Me and the CAD designer, we sit kind of opposite ends of the room, and we shut half the lights off. And we'll both be working on our computers, because we're both, like, computer guys, Yeah. So, like, I'm leaned back in my chair. I got my 2 monitors. He's leaned back in his chair, got his 2 monitors. We got big, high-back, cushy chairs. Next thing you know, the service manager comes walking in. His desk is right next to mine. He turns all the lights on. He's like, oh, motherfucker.
I know.
It's like, dude, come on, man. Well, they're going to read my paperwork. I'm like, get a fucking desk lamp.
Chris does that. He likes to come home and turn on the lights on. I'm like, hey, it's your house, but
yeah.
I've got like one light on if I'm watching TV, I might not have any on.
Right, yeah, no. That's my wife came home tonight she took my daughter to get their nails done, and the boys and I, we're all doing screen time. 3-year-olds sitting on an iPad, the 6-year-olds on the computer. I'm on the computer, we're all in the same room.
Yeah.
Not a fucking light on in the house.
Yeah.
My wife comes home, oh my God, what the hell you guys see in here? I'm like, we got screens on. What the hell do I need to see? What do I got to see? The bathroom light was on.
Yeah.
So they could, it emits enough glow that they can walk to the bathroom without.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I take my lunch break, there's like a little office in the back I go and sit at. And at first, I didn't even know where the light switch was. There's so many light switches in the place. And I was just like, well, fuck it. I don't need it. But I just enjoy sitting in a dimly lit room. I mean, I'm reading something off of my iPad anyways. I'm reading a comic book or reading the news or something.
I can read in this light.
Right. Yeah, my boss come back there and, what are you doing back here in the dark? I'm like, relaxing. This is my half hour. Yeah. Go away.
Leave me alone.
I'm trying to forget I'm here.
Yeah, my iPad's emitting light.
Right.
Leave me alone. No, I come here and I try to take take my hat off because, I get to
Yeah.
wear it all day.
Right.
So it's like gets right here on me. And I sit here, and if I do that, the lights hit my glasses right on this edge right here.
Really?
So I glare, and I have anti-glare glasses. And it's like, motherfucker.
I could probably just like figure out another arrangement. I flip them up and have them shine up into the recesses
Chris
there.
won't like that.
No, needs that light.
I don't
That's because his
care.
eyes
It's
are only
fine.
half open at any given
Yeah,
time. He needs more light.
Dude, I'm a month off. I've been a month, January 9th.
Oh yeah,
Burn one so bad.
yeah.
It's not so bad. I mean, it's not like quitting cigarettes. It's like, okay, I can't hang out with a certain person. There's one person that I have to kind of avoid, and he knows it. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows because I want to. Like with you guys down here, that wasn't a big deal. When I go hang out with him, it's like we have better conversations when we're both, tooted up, like normal. I feel I'm really fucking hyper when I'm not smoking, and it really bums me out because I get twitchy and can't sleep. I have major fucking insomnia right now, like major insomnia. I might have got 3 hours of sleep last night. I should have just come over here.
Yeah.
I was like, just I was laying in bed. I'm like, oh my god, I fucking sleep. I can't sleep. This sucks. I can't sleep. And it was like, I don't know, 12:30. I'm like, I gotta be at work. I gotta be at work at 4 a.m.
I probably would have just tried to push through it.
I can't though because I gotta be like physically and mentally alert at work. Because I could go literally from working a hammer drill to working a computer.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. And if you're not, that's dangerous,
Right.
Working heavy tools is dangerous.
They're two different mindsets too.
Yeah, it is. It is. The guy I work with today, he's very, 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 very blue collar worker. You know what I mean? Like there's no computer, nothing. He just got his iPhone, first smartphone. He got it through work, and he's just fumbling through it. And, he's fine. But he didn't understand my job. This happened about a year and a half ago. He didn't quite understand what I did. So he would see me on the phone. I'd have, my earbud in, and I'd be on the computer, sitting there, talking on the phone and on the computer. So that's what he thought I was doing, was fucking around. So
I
thought I was just on the phone and on the computer. He didn't realize that I was like doing tech support for another technician while I was working on the programming the job that I was on.
Yeah.
And he's just fucking...
You're doing two things, and he thinks you're doing nothing.
Yeah, he thinks I'm like watching YouTube videos and listening to Pandora or talking to like somebody who's my, whatever. Because he doesn't understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Right.
He just doesn't, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And so he calls the office, calls the big main manager. And tells him, because this guy is a Marine, ex-Marine, and like no bullshit. He does not sugarcoat nothing to nobody, like nothing. I've heard him tell a woman that he could smell her pussy. It stinks. She needs to take a fucking bath.
Jesus.
Yeah, she did, and I could too. But she was working with us. He walks up. He's like, "You fucking stink. I could smell your pussy. Go home and take a bath." God, kicked her off the job just like that. I'm like, how the hell do you get away with that? He's just gruff. He's gruff. I got into it with him a little bit. But anyways, this is after that. Calls the office. The general manager doesn't quite understand what I do either, still to this day. Doesn't quite understand what I do. Doesn't understand the time it takes for me to do my job. Yeah. Because, dude, it's tech work, and I do technical support and I do tech work,
Right. And plus, at least from my experience, I don't know about your boss, but a lot of times when you're in that situation, they don't give you the benefit of the doubt either. No. They assume that, I don't know what you're doing, so you must be fucking around at least half of the time.
Yeah. Well, my boss, who was the vice president, he's the guy that knew everything I was doing. He fucking knew what I was doing. But this foreman, who's the Marine guy, calls the general manager and tells him, all Jason's doing is sitting around on his fucking phone playing a goddamn computer all fucking day, charging up time in my job. Yeah. Well, first off, I wasn't charging time to his job. Oh, he says, and if the customer sees him, he's like, and the customer sees him doing that. Well, that's bullshit, because I was sitting in a closet, like in an IT closet. Right. And anyways, the customer, if they walk in, they're IT people. They're going to fucking look at my computer and hear the words coming out of my mouth and understand that I'm fucking busy.
Right.
You know?
Every computer goes down at some point.
Oh,
no matter how
how
much you know about or how little. But
I got a fucking big badass computer at home. It crashed. It's crashed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I fucking fix it.
although this guy's been like super solid. I know. I'm cursing it.
Do you fix your own shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, actually, both of these. I was talking about my main computer, but this little laptop that I bought. Oh, has it been 2 years now that I've owned this thing? I think it might have been. And I paid $380 for it. It's been a tank.
Yeah. What is it, Toshiba?
Yeah, it's a Toshiba.
Yeah. The only problem with the Toshibas is they overheat.
I have not had that problem.
The thing is you probably shut it down when you're done, right?
No.
You keep it on a hard surface all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You can breathe. Actually, you'd be better. You'll save it if you go spend $15 on a thing that actually will kick it up a little bit, and there's fans on it.
Right.
And
that's a good idea.
You'll fucking save the shit out of it.
Yeah, I do. Well, I guess when I watch videos and stuff on it, like the fan kicks up. You can hear it.
Yeah.
It's getting hot.
Right.
But yeah, that's a good idea.
Those that specific model. That generation of Toshiba, they had really shitty solder points on the processor bus.
Oh, okay.
So the motherboard would actually get too hot.
Yeah.
And you get cold solder joints. They were like cold solder joints almost. So like they would just stop communicating, and it would shut the whole machine down. And then when it cooled off, like the board would contract again.
Yeah.
And it would work. Because I bought one of those for my father-in-law, same kind of price.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I want a tablet. I'm like, get a laptop. Just get a laptop. You know, you need this and that.
Yeah.
And I did, and then it went out on him like that. It was a fucking refurb too. So I thought, okay, it's a refurb. It's gonna be better off, right?
Yeah.
They had the problem. No. So I took it back to Micro Center, and now you're talking my Micro Center account for my company.
Yeah.
I spend. That year, I had spent like $40,000 with them. And so the manager knew me by name when I walked in the door. And like, there was literally like 4 register people that knew me by name.
Yeah.
And I still have 2 salesmen out of the 4 salesmen that I dealt with. And I only deal with those 2 guys. And I kind of switch back and forth, but usually I go to Lorenzo because he's he's way less of a salesman to me. He knows I know what the fuck I'm talking about. And he's just like, all right, dude. Or I'll tell him like, hey, I'm looking at this and this brand together. Like, which one has the least returns? Mm-hmm. And he'll look it up and be like, oh, that one has the least returns. I'm like, all right, that's the one I want. And to have a salesman do that, because they're all off commission there.
Right.
The other guy will try to like kind of upsell me a little bit. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, but
Terrell, shut up.
Yeah, there's the commission salesman that sees the short term, like I can upsell him on this, and there's the commission salesman that sees the long term. If I'm straight with this guy, I'm going to get his loyal business.
Yeah. Well, Terrell, how I got Terrell as a salesman was I went in one day and there was a lady talking about computers, and I don't know why, but I piped up.
Yeah.
Because he was upselling her. And I was like, nah, you don't, like, he walked away. I'm like, you don't really need all that. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm just looking at, I just want to do emails and, watch some YouTube videos and, maybe a movie here and there. And I'm like, so you want to download some movies? And she's like, no. I'm like, so yes. Yeah. And he was selling her
people
like,
do that?
He was selling her she was selling her like a mid-range gaming machine.
Yeah.
Motherboard and everything. Like she was going to build it. She wanted to build a computer.
Okay.
She didn't know what the fuck didn't know what the fuck she was doing. She's like, I'll just Google everything on my laptop. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm like, that's awesome. I'm like, buy a good motherboard, buy a good buy a halfway decent processor. And at the time she was buying Intel. What was it?
When I first started building, I thought I skimped on the motherboard and I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how essential that piece was. I was like, what? It just connects everything. There's a bunch of wires in there.
Yeah, well, it's only the fucking main, like copper gold,
Right. It's so you could have a fucking Ferrari, but it's no fun driving it down a road that's like all busted up and shitty.
Exactly.
You got to open it up.
So she ended up like buying everything that I told her, still from him. and he was kind of bummed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll get you back, bro. Don't worry about it. I'm like, don't worry about it. You know, I'm like, because it ended up being too much talking between her and him. So I come walking in. I undercut a salesman is what it was. He was trying to sell this lady more than she needed. So he walked away. I told her exactly what she needed. That's what she ended up buying. He got a little bummed out. I said, I'll get you back. Don't worry about it. I come back in 2 weeks later and I spent $900 and I let him put all of his tags on it. And he was just like, dude, that was totally worth it. I wouldn't have made even, you know,
Yeah.
he like totally, and then I come in like another week later and it was like $5,000 and shit. I was buying for my company. He's like, oh my God, man, you know? And then, I came in the next week and he's all like wagging tail and while my normal salesman's there, I'm like, dude, this is a really big fucking sale and it's got to go to Lorenzo. You know, like, I've given you a couple bones, but he's like, oh man, really? And it was like $15,000 worth of shit. And he's like, oh man. And Lorenzo's like, hey, come on here, Terrell. And he's like, what? And he gave him $5,000 worth of it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, so
you gotta keep working relationships like that as a salesperson, or else you're just gonna get fucked.
Yeah, but anyways, I went in to return.
Lorenzo, what? He quit last week.
Fuck,
They would stab you in the back.
It would suck, dude.
Yeah,
but I took my father-in-law's computer in, and it was like 92 days after buying it, which there's a 90-day return policy.
Yeah,
and I went up to the manager, Mike. I'm like, listen, man, bought this for my father-in-law. Mm-hmm. Things shit out. We both know that these Toshibas are notorious for this.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you want to get? And I'm like, I just want a Galaxy Tab 2. And he goes, go get it. He's like, I'll approve the return. Don't worry about it.
Nice.
I'm like, oh. Shitty thing is he's gone now. Yeah. Now it's a new manager that has no fucking customer skills. Like none. He doesn't give a fuck. Like I walked in, you're talking this year already, 2015, mm-hmm. I've spent $9,000 there. Yeah. Well, not me. It's through my company.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, hang on. He's got to get you piped through the headphones here. Yeah, you're not hooked in here for some reason. So, I walk in and my printer took a crap. And I bought a 2-year warranty on it. You know, I bought the extended warranty, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you the price of the printer back, $149.99." I'm like, "Well, what about the $20 warranty?" No, you lose that. I'm like, "What about the tax?" They're like, "No, you lose that too."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "I bought this thing so it would be repaired when it broke." So he's like, "Oh, well,
yeah, but they don't fix it anymore.
They don't fix it anymore,
just
right?"
Chuck those
yeah,
things.
that's what he said, and I'm like, "Oh man, you know that really sucks." I'm like, "I'm kind of screwed here," and I'm like. And they give you a gift card, so I have to spend it at Micro Center. I'm like, well, I don't know, you know, and that's why I was like, I don't know. And they're like, the girl behind the counter, like, she knows who I am. She's like, what do you mean you don't know? I don't want to fucking lose that $20. Yeah. I'm like, you know, I don't want to, you know. Matter of fact, that printer was on that $900 purchase that I did from Terrell.
Okay.
I bought a monitor, a video card, and a printer.
Damn.
Yeah. $900.
That was $9,000?
900.
900.
Oh, no. And so she's like, let me get the manager. And I'm like, that'd probably be a really good idea. I'm like, because I really would just like the warranty. I'm like, which is liquid for you anyways. I'm like, it's pure profit for you guys anyways.
Right.
And she comes back and she goes, yeah, he's only going to go halves with you. I'm like, he's only going to give me $10.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm like,
well,
I said to him, like, and I looked at her and I'm like, you know me? She's like, yeah, I know you. I'm like, all due respect to you. She's like, yeah. I'm like, where the fuck is your manager right now? And she's like, what? I'm like, why isn't he standing in front of me telling me this?
Right. Yeah, I hate that shit.
And she's like, I'm like, could you do me a favor and just go grab him?
Yeah.
And she like calls him and he wasn't coming over. I'm like, where is he right now? She's like, oh, he's over in components. And I walked over. I'm like, are you Mike? He's like, yeah. I'm like, do you know how much business I do in this place? Yeah. And he's like, well, I don't even know who you are. I'm like, I'm the guy with the printer that you're only going to go half on. I'm like, you go look up my AR account right now. And I gave him the name. I'm like, you go look that up right now and you tell me you're not going to help me out with my fucking warranty. Yeah. And I said it just like that. And Terrell and Lorenzo were standing next to him and they're like, Mike, you might want to help him out. And he's like, what? I took him totally, because I came at him just like that. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I'm like, go look up my AR account right now. And he went and looked it up. He goes, all I could do is half it with you. And I'm like
these guys have no concept.
Terrell ate the other $10.
There you go.
Terrell was like, "Come here, I'll take care of you, Jason."
Yeah.
He's like, he's like, "Come with me." He's like, "I'll take care of you." And he goes, "I'm gonna cover that $10."
Yeah.
I'm like, "You're fucking ain't right. You're gonna cover that $10."
Having worked in a very similar situation at Guitar Center, they sell warranties and everything, and technically, I can understand where he's coming from.
I do too.
It's probably not Micro Center that is offering this warranty. They're going through a third party company.
Totally understand.
They
that.
get a certain part of that, and so he's basically eating their end. But what he's not looking at is it's $20 versus tens of thousands. Right. And what the fuck? Why don't you just make this customer happy so he continues to shop at your store?
But the thing is, it's not only the tens of thousands from my company that I do, me personally do. I don't know how much the other
but you
guy
can just
does.
have shipped to you
Right.
from any number of places.
Right.
Word of mouth is the best and worst advertising.
Right. But the other thing is the thousands of dollars on my personal that I put on my personal, it's not an account, but my name's in there. They can look all my receipts up. The thousands of dollars I do personally every year. Like I spend $1,000 a year in that place, like easy, like fucking easy. And I'm just being conservative for my personal use. It's
Jay, you play the card that I play all the time with the people I travel with the airlines and the rental car. And it's, anytime they give me some shit, I'm like, really? Do you want to look up and see how often I'm using you and how much I'm spending per year?
Yeah.
Right.
At that point, customer is always right. Like, I spend tens of thousands of dollars a year here, bitch.
But the big difference is competition.
Yeah.
Right? In Jay's situation, there's a lot more competition out there that he can go to.
I can have it shipped.
You're somewhat more limited. They're like, what are you going to do? Walk there?
No, but with the airlines, I mean, what's left? Yeah. 3 or 4?
Right.
I said I could go take my money to fucking Southwest Airlines if you're really going to be that way,
They're like, you really don't want to do that. Go ahead and threaten that.
Yeah, but do you book your own flights, or does a company set them up for you?
I book them, they pay for them, but they don't know that.
That's how it is for me too.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But also,
that does make a difference then, because in a lot of situations, there's somebody at HR office booking all these flights, and they just go with whatever's cheapest. I know they go with whatever's cheapest, because fucking when Guitar Center would fly me out to California, I would have the shittiest flights, especially coming back. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna fly you out for 4 days, but we need you back in the store on Friday. What time's my flight leave on Thursday?"
Midnight.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
2-hour power naps on the floor, waiting for my layover and fucking butt fuck wherever, some place with no trees.
So let her rip, Chris.
If I fly early, I try to avoid connections. Just get me home and into my bed.
Yeah, but it's also like cable companies. Like, go ahead and protest, but you'll probably just make the rounds and be back to us. Like,
we don't
fuck Comcast. Fuck WoW. No, fuck Verizon. Oh, I guess I'll go back to Comcast.
Well, no, that's what I did. I was like, fuck AT&T. Fuck WoW. Oh, AT&T, I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Turns out you guys didn't suck as bad as everybody else did.
I will not. I'm not going to change from WoW. I just have internet access through them right now. And,
I've always had a really good experience with that company.
Yeah, I have too. I actually just canceled my cable TV and kept the internet. I think I just said that twice, didn't I?
Hey, real quick, turn your camera on, Aaron. Tired of looking at the blue square.
You doing laps?
Yeah, no shit, man. You're making us dizzy.
There we go.
This is how I do. This is what I do when I talk on the phone, so you get to experience it.
Yep.
Because it's like I'm talking on the phone.
I get it.
Oh wait, that's right. We turned the lights off. I can't see shit.
Was it the makeout party?
Blah, 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 blah. No, it was fucking Blind J party.
There's a good shot of your thumb.
Yep.
You look like an 80-year-old man trying to take a picture right now.
Hey, is this thing on? Is this thing on? Can you see me right now, Christopher?
It's crazy. You guys are full screen.
Maybe we can get a little bit of a compromise here. Let's try.
Now you can see a coffee cup now.
I sure can.
Hey,
it's a full moon this week, right?
Yeah, today
that
was.
Really, today? That would explain today.
Fucking assholes.
Holy hell.
we're like mom and Shant's mimes.
I think
Just
Steve
wear all
Jobs
black.
ghost came down and smacked you upside the head is what happened.
Yeah. But hey, Steve Jobs also saving the day because I'm still using one of his devices.
Right.
It only cost you $10,000 to get there.
Hey, while we're talking about customer service-ish,
Yes.
sort of. No, just I thought it was really cool. That's one thing I can say about Apple is they've always had like real good customer service.
Yeah?
I cracked a screen on an iPhone 4, went in, told them what happened, was honest. They said, it's the first time you're coming in for this. It's supposed to be $200. You can just have it. All right, cool.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And then with this, it was usually it's $30 for the service call because you don't have Apple Care. But seeing as how this is from the update, we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
All right. And even when my phone crapped out on me in Rhode Island, I ended up having to pay whatever to get it fixed. And it turns out there was a recall and I got that money back. So they take care of their customers. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I've heard from multiple sources that they do first-time replacements for cracked screens on stuff a lot of times. I wish I guess I should have taken my iPad in when I broke it, but I wouldn't be in much better shape now because I've broken it even worse twice since then.
Yeah.
So I'd be back in the same boat.
Although it's an iPad 3? They might just give it to you. They're on what, 6 now?
No, this is a 2.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might just be like, here, we use these as paperweights.
They just look at me like, you poor son of a bitch.
You want another one
What are you
of these?
doing with this? I just want to play words.
Not gonna lie, I like this a lot better than being tied to the chair.
Yeah.
Well, so to speak, not literally tied to the chair.
You don't. I'll say you don't sound as good, but you sound pretty damn good still. The sound quality is not bad at all.
Ironically, you guys sound better over this than you do over that setup.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're right in your fucking eardrum right now.
No, but I mean, I'm using the same headphones and stuff too that I always use.
Yeah.
I actually do like the Apple headphones. I use them daily.
Oh, I hate those fucking things.
Do you have the new style ones or the old style ones?
I have the new style one.
Yeah, I like those, man.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah,
I mean, those white plastic ones,
No,
they
but-
do not fit my ears.
Oh no, these ones actually hook in there. They're way better than the old
okay.
style. Yeah, they're way
And they actually
better.
have a bass.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're not too bad. I mean, they work well. They're not like freaking like audiophile quality, but they're good enough for Pandora or a phone call.
Right.
But I have those stuck in my ear all damn day.
Really?
Yeah, all day I have one in my ear. I have it fished through my shirt, goes down to my hip clip where my iPhone's at.
Yeah.
And I use it on my Android too. It works on my Android. It volumes up and volumes down and ends the call. Yep.
Yeah, I've had limited experience with the volume buttons and stuff working across devices. Most things just don't respond at all.
The old ones didn't do it, but now
Yeah.
the new ones with I think Android got smart and was like, yeah, we're going to smarten up on this and just.
Well, you would think that both companies would make their stuff to work across all devices. I mean,
yeah. Oh, real quick.
your competition doesn't go away because you pretend they don't exist,
Right.
We were talking about your experience at Micro Center earlier, and you were telling me about meeting Lorenzo and how he was trying to upsell a lady on the
That was
gear.
Terrell.
Terrell, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I threw some very ethnic names out there.
Lorenzo Terrell.
Wait, Terrell
running
Bean?
back, isn't he?
I don't know if that's his last name.
Oh, okay.
Short little black guy, pudgy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know him?
I worked with him at Guitar Center.
Oh.
We'll have to cut all this out. We don't name people out.
That's fine.
There's a lot of instances where, as a commission salesperson, obviously it's tempting to upsell somebody because
Yeah.
you get paid more off of
Right.
it. And there's a downside to it, especially when you're dealing with technical gear, because you could go way over their head and end up getting the whole thing back anyways. And it's like with recording systems,
Right.
People go, they would come and drop $5,000, take it home. 4 days later, they still haven't recorded a hit song, and so they're like, I guess this is not for me.
Right.
Where if you sold them, an easy $200 USB mic and simple software, they would be up and running right away.
Yep.
But there's this temptation, especially coming from somebody who knows what they're talking about, and they're like, "Oh, you've got this nice budget. What would I do with that?"
Right.
And go, "Oh yeah, we're going to get you this excellent system."
But that's when you good, better, best it.
right.
You good, better, best it. And with computers, the best part about it is you can good, better, best and mix.
Yeah.
You can mix the best processor and motherboard and power supply and then good
Yeah.
everything else.
I've definitely used that setup before, but I found that a lot with recording equipment and musical instruments, it really comes down to two choices. Like because you have to ask a lot of questions.
I understand. I've sold. I sold
a ton of
furnaces,
shit,
dude. I sold furnaces. I totally get it.
Yeah. And so you zero in and you're like, either this or that. And I found much more success with that because as soon as you open it up to 3 options and they're like, well, what about that one? and then the whole thing just falls apart.
Right.
It's like the Method in 30 Rock. Remember when they're trying to hire a new cast member?
Oh yeah.
They get
the Hornberger system.
Yeah, the Hornberger system. And then everyone starts auditioning. They fuck the whole system up.
See, the thing good, better, best for me worked real well because I was working off brochures.
Yeah.
And I could just make 3 price proposals and have each shoved into each brochure.
Yeah.
I could just make a brochure pack.
Well, also, this is something that's been studied in our society that
everybody takes the better.
Well, no, not so much that.
Most people take the better.
It's the concept that more choices, more options don't necessarily make you happy.
No, right.
It makes you second guess your purchase and constantly go, oh, well, I bought this model and then they came out with that one, or maybe I should have got this one. Whereas if you feel like you only have 2 options, you're much more confident in that you selected the right one if you're enjoying the thing that you bought, if it's doing what it needs to do for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, with a furnace, it heats your fucking house.
Yeah.
You know, does it turn on when I push the button on the wall?
Yeah.
Yes. That's all a lot of people cared about.
Yeah.
You know,
that's like me in cars. I'm not a fan of opulent automobiles. Will I turn the key? Will it start? Will I get to point B?
I'm a fan of them. I bought my wife a fucking Denali. Well, leased her a Denali.
I'm a fan of design in general, so a really nice car is it's a beautiful thing to look at.
Yep.
But as far as driving one, I'm the same way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to try and get this Honda to 300,000. It's gonna happen.
Well, it'll happen. Yeah, you just got to fucking throw money at it.
Dude, you keep resurrecting that bitch.
I
keep trying to die.
I have done a lot of work on it. I've invested relatively small amount of money. I'm still under a grand total, including the cost of the car.
Oh.
So
nice.
I'm still in the positive in this transaction, having driven it for over a year now, I think, right?
You're just always in the garage, like, not on my watch. You get the defibrillator.
Well, the sweet thing is if you go trade that car...
Pounding on the engine and straddling it.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. One more day. Come on, baby. You know you love me. Oh, man. What hotel are you in today?
Still in a Hampton, but I am in downtown Brooklyn.
Oh, right on.
You mentioned you were fired up about something, though.
Just today it was a fucked up day.
Yeah,
well, let's see how my day started. My car got towed, so that was fun.
Oh, your rental?
Yeah. The place I parked at last night. It had a sign that said, pretty much said, don't park in this parking lot. Only authorized cars in this parking lot. And it had a parking lot. So I parked on the street. Fair enough. Well, apparently it must have extended to the street.
Really?
Because I go out today to go to my car and it's not there. First thing I think of is, this would be so much cheaper if it's stolen.
Yeah.
Because it'll be on the rental car company.
Just find some glass and break it where your car was and call it in.
Yeah,
but
the impound company calls the people who are on the title.
Right.
And busted. And then, I just got to take, it took me 2 fucking hours to take the subway to go in a fun part of Brooklyn to go get the car, because impound yards are always in super awesome neighborhoods.
Oh, I bet.
Then I get there. It's got a sign that says there's a 2.7 interest charge on credit cards. Like, whatever, it's whatever it's going to take. So I hand the guy my card, and he's like, no, we don't take those. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you don't take those? There's a sign right there. He's like, well, the machine's down. I said, well, it'd be nice to fucking know this when I call you. Like, at this point, I'm like, give me my keys, give me my license. And he's, well, attitude's not going to get you your car back.
Oh, boy.
Well, I had 2 choices at that point. Shut up and walk to the ATM or get in his face. I wanted to get home, so I shut up and walked to the ATM.
Yeah.
Went and got the cash, came back, even did the hey man, I'm sorry. This is frustrating. I'm frustrated. You probably get this all the time. Brought my car.
Oh, fuck. Hold on, sorry. We got Mike calling in. Hello.
Hey, buddy, can you open the garage, please?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to open the garage. I'll be right back.
Are we all back?
Yeah, Mike will be joining us soon. Cool. So you were talking about your experience getting your car towed.
Well, yeah, just that whole, that's...
Just real quick on that, it reminded me, when I when I left work today, it turns out that my car was blocked in.
Oh, fun.
Because I park in this lot that is now completely snowed in on sides where it used to be open. Like, there used to be an egress onto the street right in front of where I parked that went over the sidewalk, but all that was still, 2 feet of snow. And then somebody came in and parked right behind me. And, I was pissed, and I understand that I don't think the person did it on purpose. They were just not paying attention to what the fuck was going on. Mm-hmm. Which is not really an excuse, but...
Well, it's par for the course with our narcissistic society nowadays.
So I had to go back into work and grab a snow shovel and shovel my way out of there.
Well, that sucks.
And my boss is like, he's like, it's not that, they're probably over at the restaurant. Why don't you just go find them and have them move their shit? Like, well, it'll probably take me just as long to shovel my way out. He's like, well, what you should do is shovel all that snow onto their car, or better yet, behind their tires, so they have to shovel it out to back out. And I'm like,
hey, boss is a pretty smart dude.
I'm like, yeah, those are good ideas. When it came right down to it, I didn't say no. I thought, yeah, I'll do that. Why not? But then when it was time to start shoveling, I was just like, get the fucking snow out of my way and
I just want to go home
and move on with my day. Yes, it would be nice to get a little payback on this person, but what is the end result going to be? Am I going to feel better about myself in the long term? Probably not. Is that person going to have a revelation like, oh, I fucked somebody's day up?
Probably not. And
now mine's fucked up because of it. No, they'll just be spiteful. Mm-hmm. You're not going to change other people. So you just fuck, like your experience. The guy was being a dick. You were being a dick back, but at the end of the day, you had to just swallow your pride and say, hey, I just need to get on with my fucking life.
Well, yeah, being you're a not dick worth to him it. Was not going to help my cause. It was not going to lead to more good. So it is what it, but real quick, you mentioned that about digging out your tires. Yeah. It is hilarious to watch these people around here
with
their
York?
Fucking snow shovels, digging out their like, really?
Oh, I didn't want to trash on Facebook about that, man, but doing the rocking your car forward, back, that actually can start a fire because it overheats your transmission.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it sometimes, but...
Yeah, right, I am too.
That's just from...
But some people do it like 20 minutes.
Yeah, just for your information. I wasn't going to be a Facebook fucking troll. Be like, you start your motor on fire. Do that.
It's holdover from when I used to drive a stick.
Right.
But, I mean, it's... Yeah, I don't know. It pretty much 2 or 3 times rocking. It's like later, losers.
Yep.
Have fun with your shovels.
Throw it into 1 or 2 low, and you're fucking rock and rolling. That's how I got in your driveway today with my van. I threw it into 2 low.
Yeah, how much snow is there?
16.5 inches we got the other day, and then yesterday we got another 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I read it was like the 3rd biggest snowstorm that's ever hit Michigan.
Yeah, it sucked.
I know. I got to spend an extra 4 hours at Metro Airport on Sunday.
Yeah, I was kind of laughing about that. I saw you checked in at Metro. I'm like, oh, he ain't going nowhere. Nowhere fast.
Well, I mean, my flight was already delayed before I left, which was nice, but...
At least there's a National Coney Island there that's like priced 10 times higher than anywhere else. Yeah. You can get a honey for $25.
Yeah, you can get a fucking double cheeseburger for $3.
Yeah.
At McDonald's. It's fucking ridiculous.
I know.
But that's... Oh, you just triggered another rant. There you go.
Yep.
With Aaron, we were talking about 30 Rock earlier.
Yeah.
Remember the episodes with Matt Damon when he was the airport pilot?
Yeah. He was Carol Burnett, the pilot.
Hey, speaking of pilots, did you see the fucking Malaysian airliner that just came down?
Yeah, I saw the stills of that.
Yeah.
Dude, you should see the video. He missed these buildings by inches, man. You got to see this video. It's amazing. I mean, you can pull it up, but whatever. I think it's Malaysian.
They always do that in about a half an hour thing, and it drives me insane. I got a survey about it, tell us about your delay, and I pretty much said, why piss us off multiple times? Just tell us it's going to be 3 hours so we can plan accordingly, do whatever, and then it's, because they have to fucking know.
Yeah, but for some people, planning accordingly means rioting.
I guess, but
they hear a 3-hour delay and they're like, oh, this is going to be like 9/11 all over again. Let's go. We're going to take this plane over.
But come on Sunday,
watch this shit.
I would have told anyone to personally shut the fuck up. If you looked outside, damn right there's a 3-hour delay. Shut up. But they piss you off multiple times. It's like, oh, now it's 9 o'clock. Oh, now it's 9:30. Oh, now it's 10. Oh, no. And then, finally 11 o'clock we take off for a flight that was supposed to take off at fucking like 7:30. But yeah, it's why piss us off multiple times. That's just me. I'm sure the airport will piss me off on the way home too. Hey guys, thanks for listening, thanks for clicking, thanks for liking, thanks for sharing, thanks for subscribing for free by clicking through the iTunes banner on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for telling a friend. I probably already said that, but that's how important it is because that's how podcasts work. We drop every Monday and Thursday. Check out all of the other shows on ChristopherMedia.net. So stay tuned, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time.
If you enjoy this show and want more people to know about it, head on over to iTunes, leave a comment, and rate it 5 stars. Make sure you like and share us on Facebook, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Just search for Christopher Media. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Most importantly, we would like to take the time to extend an extra special thanks to you. Christopher Media could not exist without your support. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise.
The sweet aromas of the apple fritter, cinnamon roll, and blueberry muffin are hard to resist. So making it home without reaching in your McDonald's bag is no easy task. But nothing worth doing is easy. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's.
As much as life has changed over the last year, you're still pretty busy. So consider convenient COVID-19 testing from Quest. Get the same tests hospitals use without a doctor visit. Simply order online, select from drive-through or at-home options, and get results sent securely to your phone or computer. It's a great fit for your busy life. With over 25 million COVID-19 tests processed, you can count on Quest. So order your test today.